Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is Jason from Dream Canada, and today I'm going to tell you 5 simple rules that you can follow to help build your credit score in Canada so that you'll find it easier to buy a car or a house later down the line with the best interest rates and eligibility preferences. You can actually start building your credit score right from the day that you land in Canada. So if you're a new immigrant or if you're thinking about migrating to Canada shortly, then needless to say that buying a car or buying a house or a condo or an apartment will be the biggest expenses that you'll have to incur after you land in Canada. So it's very important that you prepare yourself well and your credit score has to be perfect so that first of all you're eligible to get a loan from banks or financial institutions, and second of all that you get these loans on very attractive interest rates so that you don't end up paying high interest amounts for the rest of the terms of your loan. So basically the better your credit score is, the better interest rates you'll get, and since these are long-term loans, it's always better to have lower interest rates so that you end up paying a lower amount each month. Now these rules aren't very difficult to follow, and someone that has even a modest income can really build up their credit score as soon as they land in Canada so that they don't face any difficulty in borrowing from any bank or financial institution later on. I've listed the elements that make up your credit score and how these elements are distributed in your credit score and how you can use each element to your advantage so that you can build up a credit score of as high as 800 very quickly after landing in Canada. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, do remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with regular Canadian immigration processes without the help of an agent or a consultant or immigration lawyer. I do answer all your immigration queries in the comment section below and also on my social handles on Instagram and Twitter. I've added my social handles in the description box as well, so if you have any queries, do remember to reach out and I'll answer as soon as I can. So do remember to watch the video right till the end so you know exactly what you need to do to build up your credit score as soon as you land in Canada. On the first day that you land, you should go to a bank to open your bank account, which will also give you your first credit card in Canada. You can also open your bank account before you land in Canada from your home country, but be sure to check for newcomer offers as banks keep introducing great newcomer offers like high cashbacks on purchases and lower interest rates on credit cards. Many banks even offer you a cash bonus when you open an account with them, like the current offer from BMO, which is the Bank of Montreal, called the New Start program, which is offering newcomers 300 Canadian dollars if you open an account with them, along with an additional 50 Canadian dollars if you add someone to your family plan. The offer is valid until January 4, 2021, so be sure to check it out and other similar newcomer offers from different banks before you decide to open your bank account. You'll get a lot of options for your credit cards that will give you cashbacks on your fuel spends, grocery purchases, furniture, medicine purchases, and even on your utility bills. You'll start with a monthly credit limit of about 2,000 to 3,000 Canadian dollars per person. So even if you're opening a joint account with your spouse, you and your spouse can get about $2,000 to $3,000 each as a spending limit per month. You should ideally choose a credit card that has no annual fee, and it should offer you a higher cashback rate as movie points and other entertainment points won't be beneficial anyway now due to the pandemic. Now the question is, what do you do once you have your credit card? The main thing that you need to remember is not to go overboard and get too excited with your upper limit and just buy the things that you'll be able to pay off within a month or 50 days depending on the billing cycle of your card. This is because you'll be getting your credit score based on these purchases and how fast you'll be repaying them, and also if you'll be repaying the whole amount or just the bare minimum required to be paid at the end of your billing cycle. As you may know by now, a credit score is basically a calculation which lets lenders like banks and financial institutions know that you as an individual can borrow money responsibly and that you're good with repaying your debts on time. The better your credit score is, the better your interest rate will be when you decide to take a loan for a house or a car or any personal or business loan for that matter. The credit score numbers in Canada range from 300 up to 900, and the average credit score in Canada is 650, which won't help you that much with lending amounts and interest rates. Now let me tell you what ranges credit scores are divided into and what you can consider as a good credit score in Canada. Your credit score is calculated based on information in your credit report. Financial institutions will use this number to determine your current and future interest rates. among other financial offerings like the actual amounts they are comfortable lending to you. The number as a whole reflects your willingness to repay loans and other credit products like credit card bills. A credit score between 300 to 574 is considered to be very poor. A score between 575 to 659 is considered below average. A score between 660 to 712 is considered to be fair. A score between 713 to 740 can be considered to be good. And a score between 741 to 900 is considered to be an excellent credit score, and you'll get higher amounts as loans with lower interest rates if your credit score falls in this range. Now we come to the parts of your credit score, or basically how your credit score is divided and how you can use these parts to improve your credit score quickly. The first part of your credit score is your payment history, which actually forms 35%, which is the biggest portion of your credit score. This is why you should always complete your credit card payments on time without any delays. Never miss any credit card payment in Canada, not even one. When you miss a credit card payment, apart from the late payment fee and high interest rates, your credit score drops by a huge margin, which is a very bad thing in Canada. Now, banks in Canada will give you 21 days to complete your credit card bill payment. But what you have to remember is that if you pay off these amounts in lesser timelines, like in 7 to 14 days, then these prompt payments help to increase your credit score, which is a great thing. I've always believed that if you have to pay off an amount eventually anyway, might as well do it early on. The next element of your credit score is credit utilization, which makes up to 30% of your credit score. It's basically the amount of used credit which has been allotted to you, or the amount that you actually spend. Ideally, you should not use more than 30 to 40% of your credit limit every month. If your expenses exceed 30 to 40%, then you should use your debit cards or cash for it. This factor can also be called a revolving line of credit, which is a type of loan that allows you to borrow, repay, and then reuse the credit line up to the limit allotted to you each month. If you end up borrowing a lot of money just because your credit limit keeps on extending, this actually tells the credit bureau that you can't control your spending and you're actually spending much more than you can earn, which is not a good thing at all and which will negatively affect your credit score. If it's absolutely unavoidable and you really need more than 30 to 40% of your credit limit for an emergency or any other reason, be sure to pay back this amount well beforehand and don't wait until your due date to pay back your credit card bill. Next, your credit history, which forms 15% of your credit score. Your credit history contains details like how long your credit accounts have been in existence and enables creditors to see if you've been able to properly handle your credit accounts over a period of time. You should keep using your credit card no matter for how small a purchase, but keep using it nonetheless and never discontinue it. This is because a credit card is the easiest way for the credit bureau, banks, and financial lending institutions to know that you're a responsible borrower who firstly earns enough that you don't have to borrow any money, and secondly, if you do end up borrowing, you pay off the amounts well beforehand. If you don't use your credit card, no matter how high your earning is or no matter how many millions of dollars you have in your bank account, your credit score won't improve in any way at all. A lot of you may not know about the next factor, that is credit inquiries, which form up to 10% of your credit score. Credit inquiries are the most common reason why your credit scores go down in Canada, and you should be very careful with this as it impacts your credit score without you even knowing that it does. Let's say that for instance you decide to buy a car and you approach the bank or a financial institution with a request for a car loan. Now if your credit score is bad, then you'll obviously not get the loan for your car. But what you don't know is that the loan request that you just made and the fact that you have been rejected this car loan because you have a bad credit score goes onto your credit profile permanently. This type of credit inquiry is called a hard inquiry, and this reduces your credit score even more. Now many people don't know this and they just go to the banks and financial institutions with loan requests or inquiries not knowing the adverse effect that this may have on their credit scores. So if you know that your credit score is bad for applying for any kind of loan, Do not even approach any banks or financial lenders with a loan request, because if your loan is rejected, this will reflect on your permanent credit file and your credit score will get damaged even further. If you don't know your credit score yet, it isn't rocket science to figure it out. You can go to any bank's website where you hold your account and use the bank's tool to check your credit score online before approaching them for a loan. Checking your credit score online is called a soft inquiry, and checking this many times will not impact your credit score in any way. Your credit score will change every month, so be sure to keep checking it and only start applying for a car loan, for example, if your credit score reaches between 700 and 750. Now, different types of credit carry weight in different ways, and your credit mix forms 10% of your credit score. Having diversity with your credit line, for example, paying your credit card bills and paying off a car loan or a student loan or home mortgage at the same time, will boost your credit score to a high extent. Let's say you decide to buy a car in Canada. Even if you have the entire amount for the car in cash and you can afford to pay off the entire amount in one go, you really should not. What you should do is pay a good enough down payment and finance the remaining amount. No matter if it's just 20 to 30% of the value of the car, always finance a little bit of your car purchase. This is because the credit bureau actually prefers that you have a diversified way of borrowing money. This makes it clear that you're a responsible borrower who pays their credit card bills on time, plus you even have the earning potential that you can repay a car loan or any other loan every month as well, which is a different type of borrowing that you've done. Now, this doesn't mean that you should go around opening credit accounts that you don't really need. You need to just maintain a healthy balance of credit accounts so that lenders feel more comfortable to lend you more money at better interest rates. Small loans like 20 to 30% of a car's value or a short-term student loan or any tiny forms of credit can actually boost your credit score to as high as 800 in a very short period of time. Now, this is the score at which you would want to apply for your home loan. Obviously, other factors will also play an important role in your loan eligibility, like your salary, tax returns, down payment amount, your spouse's salary, etc. But your credit score is the factor which will ultimately determine whether you get a good rate of interest for any loan that you take, which is the most important part, because you'll have to pay interest amounts for a long time, especially for bigger loans like your home loans, and it'll really help your pockets if you have a low interest rate to begin with, so your payments every month are much lower. Alright guys, those were the 5 important rules that you needed to follow to help improve your credit score in Canada. Do like the video if you liked the content, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with regular Canadian immigration processes. I wish you guys the best of luck for your application and hope you guys have a great day.